Support your locals, starting with Space Smoke Shop, located on 125 East Pennington Street, Tucson, Arizona.
Space Smoke Shop. Cheap tobacco, any drink you can think of. We're also a hookah lounge and a venue. You'll love it.
Every second and fourth Tuesday is Punk Rock Tuesday at Space Smoke Shop, 125 East Pennington Street, downtown Tucson, Arizona. Be sure to tell them you heard about them on the GMR Podcast.
GMR. You're listening to the GMR Podcast.
You can hear my show on Stitcher. Stitcher is radio on demand. Download the free app today. Listen anytime, anywhere.
Stitcher is an award-winning free app that lets you listen to all your favorite shows, plus discover from 20,000 news, entertainment, and sports shows. Create custom playlists. Rate and review the GMR Podcast on Stitcher. Available on iOS, Android, Nook, and iPad. And over 4 million car dashboards.
On demand and on the go. No downloading, no syncing, and no wasted memory. Don't have Stitcher? Download it free today at Stitcher.com or in the App Store. Kind of took the wind out of my sails when JJ said he wasn't going. I thought, wow, this will be a big community event.
Oh, the Ramones show
The
thing?
Ramones show thing. Here, let me use this microphone over here.
Does sound echoey to me.
Sounds echoey tonight, huh?
Well, let me listen back to this real quick.
Alright.
There we go. How's that?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were recreating episode 1 there for a second when we had
That's
no
crazy.
mics. Let's do a show with no microphones.
We need to get one of those Apple phones. Get the iPhone. Apparently those things are of a good enough quality. You can use those to make a podcast.
You could.
I'm listening to the That's Chris Gore podcast.
The Pod Crash?
Or That Chris Gore Pod Crash. That's what it's called. Pod Crash. And they're just sitting at a table in a bar somewhere talking about Logan's Run. And it sounded pretty good off an iPhone.
Wow. So you don't even need to bother with a portable digital recorder. You just need a better phone.
Yeah. Although you think by now they'd have little podcasting, like little things you could just carry that are specific for that. Maybe they do.
They just might, yeah.
And we're gonna have to investigate that in 2014. Speaking of which, it's 19 weeks to Comic-Con.
That's right. 19 weeks. Wow, we're already into the teens. Still, that's almost 5 months away, but it's ticking down. Still no more announcements in the way of actors. So
That means it's also like 24 weeks to Big Brother.
wow. So that is 6 months from now. A half a year.
It's pretty exciting, I tell you what.
Why, we'll have updated our commercials by then.
And we'll have way too many commercials at that point because we'll have lots of sponsors. We'll have to start. No, you can't rotate you're going to have to put every commercial in every show.
Yeah.
Because that's why they're sponsors. They want the commercial in there. They don't want it in there. If they get no commercial, you don't get paid. And God knows we could use the money. Comic-Con isn't cheap, my friend. You want to buy those T-shirts? You better bring some money.
That's true. If you want to buy stuff, that's not cheap.
And they have all the stuff, everything. Every T-shirt. It just blew my mind. Herostuff.com. Remember that? I was really high on that when I got back from Comic-Con. Hell, I'm wearing the shirt right now
that's right.
that Steve-O bought me.
Even Mark bought a shirt.
That's right. He loves that shirt.
So does Mark know that his ticket has been purchased. I think I failed to tell him that last week.
I'm thinking he just hopes it is.
Well, it is.
Assumes it is.
So.
Yeah, he's not listening to this. He hasn't figured out how to play poker and listen to the podcast.
Well, he said the speaker was behind something and he couldn't hear it anyway. So Mark Brady needs an iPod.
Yeah, that's what he needs. More gadgets.
Then he has no excuse, you see. No, you have to listen to the GMR podcast every week. Week 56. Wow.
It's a lot of weeks.
Yeah. The numbers almost seem to not make sense anymore. 19 weeks to Phoenix ComiCon 2014. That's amazing. Well, if you didn't buy your tickets already, you got to pay $60. And then it's going to go up to $80, which is unheard of.
Yeah, and rooms are probably no rooms in the inn.
Oh, yeah. Hyatt's booked.
And the Regency's not a part of it this year?
No, you have to go to the Renaissance or whatever the other one's called. Instead of just making up names that sound right, let me look. Because I'll listen back to
Bruce
this later.
Campbell's
going to
be there.
Oh, yeah, Bruce Campbell.
Did they add somebody? Looks like they've added somebody.
Nope.
There's a third guy. Hyatt is sold out. The Sheridan and the... Wow.
And the Renaissance.
What about all these other... Oh, these are just...
These are... You got to...
The Radisson.
They're further away from...
The Radisson. That's where...
Radisson's cheap. $77 a night. But then you got to go all the way over to where everything's happening.
Yeah. The sweet part about the Hyatt is it is the Comic-Con.
Yeah, you are right there.
The Comic-Con is taking place in the Hyatt. There are people there 24 hours a day playing not video games, but card games, role-playing games.
And now events scheduled till 2 a.m. this time.
It's the kind of thing you walk out your door, you might run into the guy from Star Trek. He might just be right there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You're in the Hyatt.
That did happen last time. Yeah. I was still taking a power nap, as we called it.
Look how they've molded that downtown area. It looks like the state of Arizona.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a good time.
You know, we can go to the 24-hour fitness center. We have access to it. We never take advantage of that.
No, we don't.
$5 discount off self-parking rates.
What does that mean?
That means we can park there for $5 off. We should take advantage of that this time.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense than
parking down the street.
Let's park a quarter mile down the street and lug all our shit. Yeah, I always wondered why we didn't do that in the first place. Is it because we didn't know?
We didn't know. And
it's
now
probably
it's like, hey,
pretty
we are
packed.
Staying there.
Yeah, we're guests of the hotel. It's not
wouldn't that be great? You just get out, walk in the stairwell, and there's the place. Not killing yourself, hauling all these beverages around. And
it would be sweet. Not that I hauled anything around.
But you certainly walked as much as the rest of
Oh,
us.
yeah. Been trying to keep in shape, going upstairs whenever I encounter them.
That's right.
Avoiding the elevator.
Wow, everything ended at around midnight last year, right?
No, some stuff was going on till 2.
It says events scheduled till 2, like there's extended evening and nighttime programming this year. And yeah, forget about getting a table or a booth. That shit sold out from before the con was over last year.
Yeah.
People signing up at the con to get their space next year.
That's what you have to do.
So I think they're going to have to increase the size of this thing.
Couldn't you Google, hey, how many people went to Phoenix ComiCon?
Well, we can. Let's see what happens.
In 2013.
AskJeeves.com. How many people...
Because I've still not figured out what the final tally is on that.
Attended Phoenix ComiCon 2013.
7. That's a surprising number.
Well,
I didn't see that coming.
Let's go the wiki. The first Phoenix ComiCon was held in June 2002.
Wow.
It was a one-day
Where were we,
convention. It was
dude?
only $3 back in '02. That was the dark times.
Ah, the dark times. Oh, yeah.
In 2013, it set an attendance record of 55,313 people.
Wow.
4 of which were us, or 5 of which.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, and the first one, there was only 432 people in attendance.
All right, the second one.
But it says unknown. So it wasn't until '06 that it really started to be what we know it today. Those were in Mesa.
How many were in 11?
32,127.
So you just add 20,000 people and it gets that much out of control?
Yeah.
Damn. I guess it's almost doubling it.
Yeah, an extra 20,000 people. You
It
know
makes
this
a
year is going to be
difference.
nuts.
Makes a difference. All right, what was 12 then?
12 was...
How many people?
12 was 32. 11 was 23.
Ah.
Was 11 the first one we went to?
Yes,
yeah,
it
that's
was.
right. The Nimoy one.
That's the one where the only thing we knew about was the floor.
That's right. We thought there's no way there's more to this.
We
than
kind of
just this one
wandered
place.
around some other building a little bit, but we didn't know what was going on. I don't think there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
Or was that the second year we went? Oh, the first year we went. Yeah, that was me, you, and JJ.
Yeah, it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
It's out of control. So it's bigger than Coachella, is what you're saying.
Well, let's see. How many people attended Coachella 2013? Let's look at that. This year's of which is already sold out. 90,000 people.
See, that's a lot of people, Marty.
They only allow 99,000 people per day.
Well, that's not a lot.
So that's more than double the Comic-Con. But of course you have a gigantic 3-mile polo field.
Yeah. Well, there's no way I'm going to Coachella. Talk about getting lost.
If you want
Right?
that Woodstock experience, that's... Oh, you get lost? Forget it. That's why you got to have a meetup place, you know. Meet me at the Dome. That's what we always said. The Dome is this place in the middle where there's constant rave music going on. But guess what? We got lost. We didn't meet up at the Dome. We just randomly looked around for each other. We lost Ray at one point and didn't find him for about 2 hours.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
Because at least with Comic-Con, you know, you got a room to go to. Well, I guess if you were camping at Coachella, you could just go back to the campsite. But that just seems like a lot of money for a miserable experience. I get to sleep outside for 3 days and pay thousands of dollars to do it.
Unless you're styling. I mean, if you're going to be there 3 days, you might as well.
Yeah.
Can you bring whatever you want, like your own beer?
Sure, let's go rent that RV and...
You can park your RV there?
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
See if we can get Beaudry RV to fucking fund us, kid.
Yeah, they sponsored us once.
We'll sell that RV. We'll slap a big fucking sign on the side of the thing.
And
Beaudry RV.
what classic television it was.
Oh yeah, it was some of our better work. Well, that's what happens when you take us out of the alley. I mean, we were still in the alley.
Yeah.
And it was raining pretty hard, and it was probably cold, and it wouldn't have worked, I don't think.
Yeah, it felt like a studio show in a way. I remember enjoying it at the time, but
At the time, yeah, we're just glad to be out of the cold, and look at this big fucking thing we have to play with. What are we doing in here? And then you got Chris, and who else was in the front seat?
Eric was there.
Chris and Eric. Now, who was in what seat?
Eric was in the driver's seat.
Ah, yeah, you didn't see much Eric, and I don't think I was even on the show. I might have had a mic.
At least not in that first hour, yeah.
That was just the first hour we kind of scanned through.
Yeah, very quickly.
I was just sitting there switching the show with our brand new switcher with all the different effects and whatnot.
And the week after that, we lost power for half the show. That was nice.
That might be easier to watch, though, because you know there's only half a show there.
The part where we finally get the mics back on, that's where Time to Make a Sandwich comes from. But you'll learn all this in the history of the new show coming eventually.
Coming to a Wikipedia page near you soon. Once we write that, hire some intern to. You don't hire interns; they do it for free. That's why they're interns, right?
Yeah.
Do you give them a stipend or anything? Isn't that paying them?
That is big. Well, maybe one day you'll get to hear the audio clip where we're sitting in the truck while it's raining outside, and the mics come back on, and we say it's time to make a sandwich.
Yeah. We could do lots of drops at some point once you get that bigger hard drive, another hard drive.
That's really what it comes down to.
And we can just find all those drops. Just boom. When you're down in the editing bay putting all this together, you can pick the right places and put sound effects in there, little appropriate things like that.
Exactly. Coming soon to this podcast. Stay tuned. Maybe this year even. Who knows? We'll see. But I'm warning you with peace and love. I am very busy. But I do like the concept of it. I've been thinking about that a lot. And I think it would make itself. Because we already know what all the classic shit is. It's the stuff we still talk about. And then it gives it a reference point. Uncle Stoney, what's that? Oh, listen to podcast number blah, blah, blah for Uncle Stoney clips. Oh, okay.
Kind of burn out on the Uncle Stoney clips.
Well, we are, but
are.
There's so many people out there that
have
no clue.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, I can tweet that out on YouTube for now. The original Uncle Stoney collection with all the
original Uncle Stoney collection. Now on CD.
Yeah, with all your hits, Violence and High and Dry.
High and dry, I left you in the morning. High and dry. I don't remember the rest of the song, but it's a classic.
It is.
That's the first time I've ever tried an Uncle Stoney impersonation out of sound. Is it all right?
It was almost like the real thing.
Yeah. Okay. Is that me in 20 years just wandering around downtown looking for things to do at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Becoming a star of a public access show. So much to the point where people would bother him in the street, asking him to sing. And then he became a recluse and never came back down to the show again.
I heard he was missing, wasn't that?
Yeah.
For a while?
Then I heard he was spotted again, just as recently as last year.
That could just be...
It could.
Any guy.
Somebody just wishing that was Uncle Stoney, convincing themselves, I really saw him.
There's a lot of interesting characters downtown.
Sounded like him and everything.
Oh, I went to catch the bus on the way over here today. There's a guy sitting there at the bus stop downtown waiting for the bus, and he's like trying to get my attention. I got my headphones on. I don't know what I'm listening to. Probably the Crucifix. And he's like, hey, he's getting my attention. And he's all like, hey, can I talk to you? And I'm like, I gotta get on the bus. And he's like, oh, me too. Can I talk to you on the bus? And I'm like, I guess so. And luckily, he found other people to talk to.
Like, I've been listening to your podcast.
Yeah. I mean, I think I saw him on the bus one other time. He was like real drunk and got in an argument with some lady.
You told that bus story about me that one time.
Yeah, exactly. I think I did tell that.
I'm one
I
of the
might have
10
told
listeners.
that story. I listened to it. Yeah, I listened to it on YouTube exclusively.
You left one of your business cards behind.
Now I follow you on Twitter.
I've been stalking you ever since. I stalk you on Twitter. I mean, I follow you on Twitter.
He's trying to hand out a little packs of Smarties to people. He said he was at Woodstock when he was 9 years old.
Now, I heard a report on Stern Show last week that kids were smoking Smarties.
Oh, I heard that they were crushing up the blue ones. This is what this guy was saying. Is there some validity to this? They crush up the blue ones and they snort them, and he looked perplexed, and he still was trying to hand them out to people.
And they said that one of the things that could happen was nose maggots.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but that sounds fucking horrible.
What do you mean nose maggots, dude?
That's what they said.
Well, it sounds like,
So-
because basically it's sugar, so you're snorting sugar. I mean, right?
Nasty.
People have been doing that for years, right?
They said they were smoking them.
Oh.
Gross.
You
And they said,
smoke-
how much candy do you have to go through in order to find the one that...
I just like to smoke my candy. Oh, I'm into it. Candy.
Wow.
I heard that Candy Crush, the game Candy Crush, is so popular. They made so much money in the past last year.
Now, what is that?
You don't know what Candy Crush is?
No.
It's like not like Tetris, but it's like one of those games, Connect 3 or something.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. There's a million games like it. But so they made I heard like $3 million a day or $3.5 million a day last year.
Wow.
So they've copyrighted the name Candy.
Well, that's what
the
you gotta
term
do.
Candy. I don't know if they spell it with a K. Let's see.
I'm just going to take this word and copyright it.
Yeah, something has been out there. I think I saw it on At Midnight with Chris Hardwick. Brian Posehn was one of the guests. And who else? Somebody else real cool. Weird Al Yankovic. Right? Well, that's just a good team right there.
That's just good television.
Yeah.
Lest I forget.
Lest you forget.
Next week, Howard Stern birthday bash, and they're letting everybody listen to it for free. You don't have to give an email. You don't have to sign up shit. You go to the site and you click. Kind of like the Turkey Day Marathon that we did a few months back.
Should be pretty cool.
So, yeah,
How long is it?
4 hours?
4
they're
hours.
Estimating.
So it's going to start at 4, so it'll be over by 8.
And then they're going to have a post show. This should prove to be interesting.
And this Wednesday, you're going to go to Marky Ramone?
Thursday, yeah.
Thursday.
Richie Ramone show.
Richie Ramone. Marky Ramone's not going to be there that night.
No, that would be a surprise
And
special
Flem's,
guest.
I think Flem's band Conversation Suicide is going to be opening up for them.
Wow.
Is that right?
Doors open at 6:30. I mean, it
Do you
could
know
be.
that? You don't know who's
No,
opening up yet?
I failed to ask him if he was one of the 3 opening bands. So.
You think he would have been plugging that because he was so excited to be on the show last week.
He was.
And it was a good show last week.
We had the most guests ever on the GMR Podcast. Something like 8.
And the most listened to, probably because we had the most guests, and they all were like, "Hey, let's check out the GMR podcast,"
It's
because we were on
up
it.
there, probably in the top 10 of most listened to.
And then they tell their friends. Sarah's got a pretty big Twitter following and Facebook and all that stuff, I imagine.
GMR.
GMR podcast. Where's Ray? Ah.
Ray's in the commercials.
Oh yeah. Hey Ray.
We forgot to turn his mic on this week.
Oh fucking Ray.
GMR.
And now it's time for the after show.
On November 19th, 1994, the power went out during our live program. That was from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Tonight on the after show, we present you a few clips from that classic episode we were talking about earlier in the show. From the new show, episode 19, Red Screen, Blue Screen.
Hello, we are back on the air, the new show. We just had an extended break, and I hope you all stuck with us. And there should be a special award for everybody at home who sits through the entire length of tonight's program. And everybody's sitting out here by the dwindling fire this dreary morning. They're drinking coffee. They're putting sugar in the coffee. Gene's smoking a cigarette finally. And he finally got a cigarette. There was somebody asking me for a cigarette a little while ago when I was up at the payphone.
All my videotapes are somewhere in this truck.
And I hope everybody out there enjoyed that segment and a little bit of weirdness that followed, because I know I did.
Yeah, I think it might be time to
What?
go eat a sandwich.
Yeah, I think everyone at home should eat a sandwich.
Everybody should eat a sandwich right now.
Everyone. And go to your kitchen, and it's munchy time, everyone. Go get your sandwich.
Eat a sandwich. And then, when you're done eating the sandwich, go get all your blankets. Go lay down. Put all the blankets over you. Hide underneath them.
And watch the new show on Instant Access.
Or listen to it.
Yeah. Just
Well,
kick
after
back
this,
and listen
after
and
this
get
show is over. Unless, of course, you taped it. And then you could play it back and listen to it.
Diehards will sit through all the bumpy parts.
But I would just go to sleep. Lay down and listen to it and let it play.
Yeah.
Hiding under covers. Going, fuck
Like
this.
through headphones. Just listening to this.
It's a cold, dark morning. The kind of morning you sleep. You'll miss the brand new Spider-Man that's coming out this morning.
Yeah, but oh
Miss
well.
all the cartoons. I'm gonna miss them anyway. No, I'm not.
Excellent.
I'm gonna try and see them. I guess I will go home. That's what I'm gonna do. What am I talking about? Of course I'm going home. First bus out of here. I'm on it.
Yep, same for me. This has been The New Show. We'll be back next week at 3 a.m. It's time for Breakout. See you next week. Anything, Gene?
I guess we'll be here next week.
GMR. 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 GMR.